So this is just going to be a quick video showing you how to make a break through the wall type of game in Scratch. So first thing we need to do is get rid of the Scratch cat, and we need some sort of paddle that we can use. So just create a bar. Oop, that's probably a bit big. So shrink it down a little bit. Okay, that'll do. There we go. So we've got our bar. So now we need some sort of script to control it. So when the green flag is pushed, what we're going to do is use two keys to control, so the left arrow and the right arrow. So if the left arrow is pushed, we want to move. If the right arrow is pushed, we want to move. So what we want to do, we'll move 5 and -5. So 5 will move one way, -5 will move the other. So just a quick check to make sure it runs the right way. So that's actually in the opposite direction. That's the left key, that's the right key. So I need to switch these moves around. There we go, and just quick check. Right, that's the right key, that's the left key. So now we have our paddle moving backwards and forwards. So the next thing we need is a ball. So if we just draw, let's have a green ball for no good reason. So there we go. Again, that's a bit big. Shrink it down a little bit. So now I need a script to control that. So when it's clicked, so when we start, what we're going to do is move to a specific location. So move to 100, sorry, -100, 100, which is there apparently. Next, let's point in a random direction. So where's the random? There we go. Point in a random direction, and we'll go between 1 and 180. Then we're just going to repeat moving of the ball. So all we need to do now is make the ball go forwards. So there we go. And if we go forward 5 steps, that's the same sort of speed that the paddle moves. All that's going to happen now is this ball would actually just continue in a certain way. So it needs to bounce if it hits the edges. So if it hits the edge, bounce. Now you can see that our ball is going to bounce around, points around a direction, and then bounces around the screen. But at the moment, nothing happens if it hits the paddle. So I put the paddle in the way, nothing's going to happen. So now what we need to do is we need to test to see if the ball has hit the paddle. So if the ball is touching, let's actually start renaming our sprites to something sensible, shall we? So let's call that the bat, and let's call that the ball. Okay, so in the bat, there we go. Right. So let's see if we're touching the bat. Then what we need to do is point in a new direction. So we need to do a bounce. So what I'm going to do is make it just bounce off the current location. So the direction is the direction that the ball's currently going in. 180 degrees minus the direction bounces off in a perfect angle. So let's run this and see what happens. And there we go. So we can now see that the ball's bouncing off our bat as we move around. So here's some bricks to destroy. So let's have some red bricks. There we go. Again, a bit too big. Shrink it a little activate, and put it there. So what we'll see now is when we run it, obviously, if our ball gets there, it's not going to quite do, then it just goes straight through that. So we need to actually do some sort of detection. So when we start, what we first need to do is make sure that the brick is showing. So if the ball hits the brick in a previous game, the brick's going to disappear. So when we restart the game, when we click the green arrow, the green flag, we need to make sure that everything's running. So now that we've done that, we need to wait. So what we're going to do now is just wait until we're touched. If we're touched by the ball, then we can just hide. So there we go. And if we run, oh, I might get touched by the ball quite well. Oh, there we go. The ball hit it and it disappeared. But what you notice didn't happen is the ball didn't bounce off the brick. So what we need to do is send a message from here, from this brick, which I'll rename as a brick, and get it to the ball so that the ball knows to bounce. So the way we do that is we just send a broadcast message, and if we have a broadcast message of brick hit, that will send off a message that says a brick has just been hit. Okay, so let's go into our ball. Now our ball can say, when we get this broadcast message of a brick being hit, all we then have to do is point the ball in a different direction, in 180 minus direction, and that will make, so when we receive this, the ball's going to bounce. So if I just go back to this brick, you see this show that's here? At the moment the brick isn't showing, green flag, so it's that show that brings our brick back again. So blink, and you can see there the ball bounced off. So what we can do now, if I just bring our brick back, if we replicate our brick a few times, so there we go. Come on, my brick's a bit too big. There we go. Let's put, see if I can get it a bit smaller. There we go. So I'm not lining them up perfectly. Okay. Maybe make slightly smaller bricks. So now we have enough bricks to cover the line. So if we run the game again, you can see as soon as we hit the brick, when we do hit the brick, and the brick disappears and the ball keeps on bouncing. But what we won't get is the game won't stop when we've got rid of all the bricks, because it doesn't know that we've got rid of all the bricks. So we need to fix that. If I can just see, oh, it's not gonna, I'm getting too close. So when that ball finally hits that brick, nothing else is going to happen. That brick's just going to disappear. So what we need to do is keep a score. So I'm going to put the score on the stage since it's a global thing. So I'm going to create a variable called score, and this is going to be used to keep count of how many bricks have been removed. So all I'm going to do is that when we receive a brick hit event, so when we receive a broadcast message saying that a brick's just disappeared, I'm just going to increment that score. So if I run again, what you should see is when we hit a brick, the score should go up. There we go, so the score goes up. Now, since we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bricks, what we can do is if the score is equal to 6, so I'll just grab score. So if score is equal to 6, we now know that we've destroyed all the bricks. So if we've destroyed all the bricks, we can just stop the game. So just stop all the scripts. So there we go. Oops. One thing I forgot, so you see there, score is still equal to 1, and that's because that was the old score. So when we start the game, we need to set score equal to 0. So there we go. So if we didn't do that, we could end up, whenever we restarted the game, the score would still be 6, and it just stopped the game immediately. You see, we've already hit 3 bricks, there's 4 bricks, and 5. It's going to be the 6th one that's the difficult thing to hit. Let's see. No. Ooh, that's going to do it. There we go. So the score ended up as 6, and the game just stopped.